What happened?
Had a slight weapons malfunction, but everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Here we are, issue 89. Getting very close now. The Haven class medical station. So that'll be interesting. We've talked about it a little bit before when we talked about the medical frigate. We talked about those briefly. We're going to get into fleet tactics, the battle maneuvers. So that's an extension of last issue. And then it goes kind of out of order because usually we do our worlds first, but this time we're going to do the planet last. So we're going to talk about Florum, the pirate world, and everybody's much beloved Hondo. So there's that. Let's take a look at our next parts. I have them here. Let's see if I can grab them without destroying everything. And here we go. This is going to be exciting, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got 3 stands, and we've got this piece of framework for the exterior. Set that off to the side. And yeah, so let's go ahead and dig into what we've got going on here. I'll set these off to the side. Let's see what we got going on first. We are going to put a gun turret in place. All right, well, let me step away. I'll grab the lower hull and the gun turret. I'll go ahead and grab the interiors so they're close at hand, and we will get started. So you have a very limited view. Let's go ahead and raise you up a bit, and we'll bring in the magazine here. So the first thing it tells you is if you're going to use the lens, then go ahead and get it put in there. I'm not going to use it, so I'm not going to worry about it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to test fit it. I'm going to dry fit it, and then we'll glue it in place. And then we can try out the light if we so choose. There goes the book. Didn't need that anyway. So I believe it goes on just like that, and it does. Fits on rather snugly, so that's good. So of course I'm going to have to grab the book here after I'm done with this so I can actually see what I'm doing. All right. And I'm just putting some glue around the edges here. So I definitely don't want this thing coming off and then rattling around, you know. So we're going to make sure we have plenty of glue. And I would say that's more than enough. Press it down. While that's setting up, I'll grab the magazine. Okay, and the magazine says to plug it into J7, which is on this side. Not that you can see that, but we'll go ahead and get that put on now. Let's see if I can determine which one it is. There we go. And with that, we should be able to test to make sure that it lights up. And B, do we have to turn the light on? There we go. Now if we press B. Oh, B made the ramp go down, which is fine. I needed to put the thing back in. That's because I hit A. B. You can see the light come on in there. There we go. So that's working just as we expected and we desired. All right. Let's go ahead and turn our power off again. Now I'm going to have to do something with this power cable because the next step has us putting all of these onto the bottoms of things. Now, it's telling you that if you don't already have it screwed together, then go ahead and screw it together and all that kind of stuff. I have it screwed together, so I screwed it together quite some time ago. So first thing we need to do is make sure that this is going to fit and go something like this. Yeah, just like that. And then it will go on here. I'm not exactly sure where it goes. Oh, it's going to go like this. Like this. There we go. It's going to go like that. And we're just going to test fit it all in place to make sure that everything goes according to plan. It does. All right. So then we can take this one, and we've got two of these that fit on. One here, and then one back here. And they fit on pretty nicely. They're not like super snug. But then this is going to go something like that. So there's two lugs here that this will fit on. And then these two lugs here where that will fit on. So that's pretty cool. All looks to be in order. So let's go ahead and glue this part on first. We'll glue all these pieces on and then we'll be good to go. So let's go ahead and turn it the way that it shows in the book, and it's going to go that way. I got to make sure I don't put it this way because it would fit that way, I think. Nope, it doesn't. It only fits this way, so that's good. Let's get some glue in here. I don't know about you guys, but this is exciting. Not so much the work that I'm doing, but the results is going to be very exciting. I'm super geeked up for this. All right. There's that. I'm just going to set this off to the side, someplace where it can kind of sit and rest while I do the rest of it. Let the weight of that take care of itself. Bring this piece in. We'll start with this small one. And yeah. So oddly enough, in this one, you glue where the screws are, which it's funny because the even though it told you to put all these screws in before, it reminds you to make sure that they're in there now. So I guess that they kind of expected that some people would not put the pieces in. Before we do that, there are a couple little indentions here. Let's go ahead and make sure we get those in place. We'll just put a smear of glue there. All right, so there's that. And then our last spots here. And it reminds you to make sure that these sit nice and flush. There's nothing holding them up. And we're good to go there. So we should be able to make sure that that stays there. I'm just going to give this enough time to make sure it's set up. Let's test this one. Feels fairly secure. That one's going to take a little bit of time. At this stage, the hold and the main corridor assembly should each stand on 4 legs and look like this. Yep, they do. Okay, now time to glue in the hold. That's the part there. It tells you where they glue. That's these lugs here. And these ones got paint on them. These ones don't. It's okay. Gonna need more glue. I've been very generous thus far. Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear my dogs, but they're absolutely losing their minds right now. Somebody came by, probably somebody walking a dog or just walking. They don't like people walking, at least not by our house. All right. So this is going to go in here. Something like this. That is down right where it needs to be. Okay, so we got that put into place. Now it's time to put test fit the corridor so that the legs of both, so the 2 legs of both its supports fit into the 4 allowed lugs. So let's go ahead and these should all be pretty secure enough to make sure that we can test fit it. And it fits in okay. We just have to manipulate it around there. All right. They fit in fine. Time to glue. And the way that goes in there, you don't have to glue this one in place because friction alone is going to do that for us. So we're good to go. All right. And then it doesn't tell you to, but we got to put this other one on. And this little one, it's just going to have to get glued in place because it doesn't have a support. Although it does kind of sit on top of there. So let me get more glue. All right, we're just going to go with a very generous amount of glue around this. All right. And time to glue in. There we go. There's that. Voila! Now the one thing that still bothers me is I didn't do anything with this. I don't know the best way to seal it up. Unfortunately, the door to the cockpit isn't the same size. Otherwise, I would use the one from my brother to seal that up, but it's not the right size. So I thought about just taking a piece of black and covering that up. But yeah, so I got to find these pieces here. I got to figure out what I did with those, and then we'll be able to screw those in place. There's 2 of them. Give me 1 second while I find those, and we'll get those screwed into place as well. Okay, funny story that goes along with this. So I struggled to find these 2 metal pieces, and I vaguely remembered something that kind of looked like these. I wasn't sure, and I couldn't figure out where the hell those weren't, and I was fearful that I had actually thrown it away. But I went back because they came in issue 87, and I went back to watch that video when I opened up the stuff from issue 87, and I noticed that there was a hole in the bag, and these weren't in it. So to my great relief, these weren't in it. And so luckily, that meant that if I did have them, there was only one spot they could be, and that was in the case that I have all of those parts in. And so I went back to that crate, and lo and behold, there they were, hanging out as if they had nothing better to do, of which they didn't. So now we get to put them in. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. That concludes everything in this issue. We actually did quite a bit. Everything in the lower hull is now attached where it needs to be, at least as of right now. Looks like there are some pieces that go up front here for some support on the front side. I'm sure that we'll do those at another time. But, so that's everything from issue 89 there, and issue 90. We're going to get some more detail parts. We're going to get some more framework. these might be the pieces that go up front that I mentioned, and then another piece of framework. And so these might go to the mandibles. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out. So with that, I want to say thank you very much, everybody, for watching, and may the force be with you always.